Hello there. I'm so excited to share this message with you today. We are all working on something amazing on the planet right now. And I think you know what it is. It is getting what you want in life. Maybe we think that's not the case. Maybe we feel like most of us have to settle for things that we don't want. And I think that we also believe it's not really enlightened to actually want what you want, or to want to have so many amazing things in your life that blow your mind, blow the minds of people around you, make them a little jealous, possibly. And we have to accept that on some level we don't really want to have the things we think we want to have. There's a resistance in the way for a lot of us at different times, different situations. You might have an easy time manifesting friends and manifesting income, maybe in your case, or getting things that you want just kind of show up when you're looking for something, you're trying to find a new armoire. Or I actually had an experience the other day where a friend of mine wanted to go to a store with me to find a white dresser. And on the way there was a white dresser for free on the side of the road that was also vintage, which was something that she actually wanted as well. So kind of crazy that within 10 minutes we manifested a white dresser. So there are so many ways we can invite abundance into our lives. Obviously, it's not just about finances, but some of us are looking for more money and it doesn't seem to show up, right? And there's a part of our awareness that says, okay, I get to have money, maybe, if I'm used to having money, if I'm used to holding on to money. I get to find new ideas that open me up to the realm of abundance in my business, or maybe in your job, your career. And we're accepting that money can show up there. And then we don't always know how to bring it in, even if we have ideas, even if we think that we have the best idea, even if on some level we think, dang, we are geniuses, right? Sorry, my higher self likes to swear and sometimes I stop her. I actually like to swear too, to be honest. So I think that we can find all kinds of opportunities out there to grow our abundance in whatever way that may appear to us. And we are still trying to figure out how to get more of certain things in our lives. And obviously that can apply to relationships. That can be about finding the right romantic partner, or partners if you're poly. So there's all kinds of things that we need to step into in order to allow those things into our lives, to be ready for them, to be willing to receive them fully. And I am not obviously the only one who is actually talking about this. You probably know about Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction, and there are many other incredible teachers out there that talk about the ideas that Abraham talks about, which is like the vortex and attracting things into your vortex. And these are all really important at this particular time in our evolution of the human race. And there's more. There's more, because here's the thing. Everyone is still learning how to say, I think I should have that, right? Some part of us might be saying, I'm not sure that I should actually embrace this because I didn't get to have it when I was young. My parents didn't know how to attract money. I had an experience where I had money and then someone took it from me. I got swindled. I didn't take care of money very well. I released money very easily in terms of eating out a lot and buying lots of new shoes or whatever that might be for you, which I actually think it's great for us to spend money. It's not a problem necessarily. However, there are times when our energy is in alignment about creating the money we need in order to invest in the things we want, or buy the things we want, to play when we want, to go on trips, whatever that looks like for you, right? So no shame in spending money, right? But I think we need to get to a place where we can fully accept the money and the things that we want in life and the relationships we want in life, all we are deserving of having them. We deserve to have them. We belong here on the planet. Being here means we deserve to enjoy all the things that bring us pleasure and joy. To actually have pleasure is a really big concept. I know we think we understand what pleasure is. You know, we might think of it as going to the movies and eating out, which of course it is all those things, right? But we might do things to excess and not trust pleasure. We played video games for 18 hours and didn't, which I haven't done in a while, but I can't say that I haven't been there. And we may have binge watched TV until we felt gross, eaten too much until we didn't feel good, had too much to drink until, you know, we didn't feel safe to drive, you know, those sorts of things. You know, we have a negative association with pleasure because we have a tendency to think that once we've had one bad experience with it, it means that we are bad. It means that pleasure isn't safe, right? And that can happen in relationships too. You know, we might feel like we gave away too much to a person and therefore we can't relax around them. We can't shift our energy to be at a frequency where we feel safe or allowed to be fully ourselves or to really enjoy the fullness of who we are, because that idea of safety is available to us in certain relationships. And then you have that happen too many times, and of course you don't actually feel safe in other relationships, even when they are pleasurable relationships that are really actually very flowing for you. And so we have to develop a kind of intimate desire to feel pleasure, to experience pleasure, to have it in every part of our life, because actually there's a whole new way of being that we're creating on the planet around enjoying life, around being in touch with our gifts as what I want to say is quantum creators, because there are new levels of manifestation that we are now creating on the planet together in unity. And that is a new concept, because we actually were creating a lot from the law of attraction, from the standpoint of being open to receiving and allowing things in, which of course we still need to do. That's still very important work. And then there was a lot of stuff about contrast, right? And pivoting out of our emotional state so we can receive the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And we kind of expand our energy centers to receive more of what we have put into our repository of amazing things that we are actually going to be allowing into our life at some point or another. And now we're moving into a new phase, which is what I call the quantum ebb. So we are learning about receiving at this point. And then the next step for us is to actually move beyond the need to work through shadow energy to get to a place of receiving, because we have built up a lot of shadow on the planet and there's a lot to release. And some of us are actually working on shadow for other people, and that is getting into our energy field and making it hard for us to manifest new things. It's not just about you not being open or willing or ready to receive. You might be amazingly ready to receive, and you're a light worker, and shadow comes to you to be fully released on the planet. So you may feel like you're getting nowhere. You're spinning your wheels. Every time you try to get something, it falls away, gets close to you, and then it falls away. It should be easier. You know, when you start the plan, when you get on the journey, this is going to work out great, right? And then something happens, right? So there's this idea that shadow is it kind of like a protection from receiving, because we can say, I have so much to work through. I have karma, which we do all have the opportunity to decide to move into a place where karma doesn't become as much a part of our story as we think it ought to be. And that is what healers often associate with difficult experiences, this idea of karma or contracts or visibility issues are things that I work through when I am working with healers and empaths and intuitives and psychics and all those people developing and cultivating their work in the world and working on their businesses. That is something that I do as well. And visibility can be a huge thing as well. That seems to be something we have to work out. So that's all stuff that's really going on. I'm not denying that we actually have these things in existence and they are part of the experience that we are, my higher self wants to say, the experience we are believing in. What we are believing in. What we are willing to allow to exist at this time, in this moment, based on all the things that have happened before and all the places we've created up until now on this planet. So I want to invite you to step into a new layer where these things are not as important. Because karma got some people somewhere. It did. And there are many experiences we probably have had where karma taught us something. Because my personal understanding of karma isn't about punishment. It's about co-creation and compassion. So we went into shadow at some point and maybe didn't behave in a way that was in alignment with who we really are. And our higher self says, you know what, here's the thing that we want to do is come into a compassionate place. So when we are going into our next life or into our new awareness of ourselves, we're going to say, I'm going to take this opportunity to understand what happened on every level. And that can look like all kinds of things that come up. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay a price for what happened. You might just need to have a new experience that makes you say, oh, I get what they were going through. I get what they were going through. I understand that now. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to heal them in the agreement for karma. It's about you becoming yourself. And yourself wants to be in truth in the world and understanding and compassion and in light. So it says, here's the thing. I didn't understand what I was doing then. I'm going to come into a place of comprehending my behavior fully. So karma happens and we experience karma. And it also is a thing that we have the opportunity to move, I don't want to say past, because it's actually been pretty handy in some situations. So we could all work together to get some things accomplished, right? It's been great for co-creating a new dimension, so to speak, for the new reality to come into being, the new 5D Earth that we are in the process of manifesting at this time. So at the same time I say you can release karma, I also understand that there are a lot of ways that karma has worked out for us for a long time. So that's all right. And, that's work. Maybe our new creation is about resting and prosperity and clarity. And we actually have full power inside of us. And so I want to say our awareness of a higher self has shifted to want to be a part of us. And our higher self has been through a lot. All of us have had experiences in many lives that have enabled us to expand fully and see who we really were always going to be. Now, that doesn't mean we're predestined to become anything. Our creation over all our lives has set up a future reality that's way out there in the 5D astral realm, holding space for who we are becoming and what we are meant to bring into the planet through our beingness. And of course, for ourselves and for our own enjoyment and pleasure and expansion, because we will never stop growing, even when we come to that place where we have embodied our full self as our higher self, is what I want to say. Higher self being us on the planet, inside of us, not just something we connect to all the time, maybe through astral connections and other means of connecting with our higher self. That becomes part of who we really are. And we are it, and it is us. Well, we are it is actually a more accurate statement. So we have to come to a place where we can enjoy having that full sense of ourselves inside of ourselves. And we have to create a new reality that allows that to exist, right? so we can actually be that person. And when we become that person, we don't get confused. We are used to being confused. And we don't have to be confused. We don't have to fall into shadow either. And that's an old paradigm that we're trying to release so we can create the earth that we're meant to live on. The earth that God always intended for us. God, Goddess always intended for us. So I feel like we are meant to land there, and whenever we do, we are finally on earth. This place is kind of not real. I'm not saying we're not having real time journeys or experiences. We're not in a fake place. We're not in the Matrix. We're not in virtual reality, okay? Doesn't mean that we're in a fake life. Our life is real. But this version of Earth was not exactly what God and Goddess and the universe, and however you want to couch that, or whatever you want to say, whatever works for you, or whatever's true for you is really what I want to say. That didn't intend for us to live in a place of suffering. And part of my journey and my work in the world is to remind people that suffering isn't our pathway to growth. Now, we have been able to grow as a result of suffering we've experienced. It's led to more compassion in some cases, more wisdom, more enlightenment. I'm not saying that those things don't happen, and not intended. Intention was for everyone to feel whole, complete, and safe on the planet at all times. And to make everything they wanted to make, because everything was available. The world was ready to give it. Now, I can say for a fact that you can create miracles in your life. Physical things can actually show up in your world that are beyond your ability to fully understand, talk about, relate to. Some people have multidimensional experiences, and they feel like they're walking between dimensions. This is something I'm seeing among a lot of people that are around me. Having weird journeys, feeling like you've gone through several experiences that have, they defy explanation, but something matters about them. That there is deeper truth beyond what you're seeing with your eyes, what you're hearing with your ears, what your mind can tell you about what's going on based on the real world we're used to, living in, here and now, right? So you might be having those kinds of manifestations. So that is evidence that you are stepping into a new world. That is absolutely, possibly a message to you that you are stepping into a new world. Now, physical reality can change. I've seen water puddles appear within seconds out of nowhere. I have watched birds appear in the sky out of nowhere and also disappear, I have seen, I've actually seen the sun change color to a color that didn't make any sense. I've actually watched a tree outside in my front yard, all the green leaves turn like bright glowing magenta, right? Now, I'm going to acknowledge that these things are hallucinations, right? When you hear people tell stories like that, you go, that's a hallucination, right? They're just experiencing something that boggles the mind, and no one agrees to that reality. Our consensus reality does not include that. Therefore, there's something going on with them that I don't think I want to be a part of, or I can't acknowledge that. I can't say yes to it, right? So I'm going to go decide that maybe they should be taking medication. And I'm not saying that there can't be a benefit to that. I'm not judging medicine in any way, so don't take it that way. I will be honest with you. I do take medication, and part of it is it came as a result of me having some negative experiences as I went on this journey, and I needed antidepressants. So, take it as you will. Everyone has their own journey here, but I also want to let people know that maybe that's part of your healing process and helps you stay grounded in this, not the other version of the earth, grounded in the right version of the earth, being yourself. And I know this will trigger some people because I know that some people are really anti-medication, and I want to tell you that I couldn't have healed without it. And so I think it's important for me to express that, because it does open the door for people to maybe be open to it if it's exactly what the universe is going to say is a pathway of ease and flow for them to heal from something. Because that's another part of this. Sometimes some of us are having hard experiences and we need whatever tools we can to support us. And I include all kinds of wellness practices in that. You know, I get regular massage and body work and energy work done because I know that that supports me in staying healthy and whole and aligned and ready for what's next, because I need to integrate everything in my body in order for me to be fully prepared for the changes that are coming. So you might have those things that you need to try out as well. Or acupuncture, all kinds of things that you could try, working with shamanic practitioners, working with light workers of all kinds can really support you in your healing if you are experiencing some difficult things or having a hard time integrating what you are experiencing. Okay. Anyways, back to hallucinations. Segue, diverged there for a second. So you might be experiencing things that defy understanding, that don't make sense, right? Like the sky dimming and brightening. I watched actually the other day, I saw 6 stars flicker in the sky, like get really, really bright suddenly and then dim. So it wasn't just like one star, and it wasn't like the light flickering, like when you look at a star, you see like a kind of sparkling sense of sparkling when you look at it. It wasn't that at all. They brightened really fast, like someone like shot the spotlight up, or like dimmer switch like went all the way up, and then they like were down back at the level of all the rest of the stars. And that was really funny, because I was actually having a conversation with my higher self about stars being able to appear and disappear, because I've had those experiences, and I wanted to have some kind of I wanted some explanation, honestly. And instead of getting an explanation, I looked up, immediately saw, boom, stars like getting really bright in the sky. It was really funny. And for me, those little God winks really are what they are. You know, some of us go, why is that happening to me? What's the meaning behind it? And it might have meaning. I mean, a lot of these things do have meaning. I'm not saying they don't, but then there's also the possibility that's happening because your spirit is just saying hello. This is an amazing world we live in. I just want you to know. I just want you to see how amazing things are. And your guides might be teasing you, and all kinds of things could be happening that are fun. So anyways, miraculous manifestations possible on earth. Miraculous manifestations. And I will probably continue to tell these stories because I have hundreds of them. I keep running into new things. I always like try to remember them when I'm talking, and I can't remember them all like on the spot because there's so many and I don't even know where to start. But here's what I want you to know. When you move forward and the journey of creating new things in a way that allows you to have them instantly. So that's not the same as the law of attraction and coming into alignment with your creation and like being vibrationally aligned. Because we can't always get vibrationally aligned. Friends, we try our best. We do. We pivot like crazy, and we try to find joy again, and we try to be in this abundant, relaxed state where we can create all kinds of things. And we have the opportunity to keep doing that because that does help us for sure. But we can't always vibrationally shift to manifest new things. It's just not always that easy, especially when you got shadow coming at you. I want to say attacking you, because in some cases we're very sensitive to these things, and we feel that energy of maybe other beings, cords with individuals that we have like unhealed stuff, whether we're trying to work through some stuff. So we might experience all that stuff. How do you get vibrationally shifted when you're having suffering put upon you that you have no way of distancing yourself from, because it keeps finding you, right? And that's what's happened to me in the last 3 years of my journey. I went through some traumatic things that were really scary. I promise you, I did not attract those things. And when I talk to the goddess, I say, Goddess, why would this happen to me? Did I bring this on myself because I needed to have a learning experience? And she said, no, you did not. I don't work that way. The universe actually doesn't want to give you these experiences at all. This is a trauma story that humans created on a subconscious level. And we decided before the earth got a chance to really get going, before it really ran according to the plan of the goddess, it actually wanted us to be in pleasure and joy. And I guess that might be where the Garden of Eden story comes from, although the goddess got totally dissed, or not dissed, like tormented in that story. And of course, Eve isn't the perpetrator of evil. And if you believe that, I'm sorry, but that's not the truth. Eve actually was inspired by nature to show Adam a way of looking at the world that was exciting and interesting, and said, here, let's look at the world, let's enjoy what's here. And then she got berated for that by God. And that didn't really happen, right? That's not the way the goddess is, and that's not the way God is. It's not the way the earth was created. The earth is capable of miracles and instant creation, and we were supposed to live in that world. But humanity as a whole, and maybe a portion of us didn't do this, because I think some of us did actually decide we were going to live in the 5D reality from the get-go, and we intended to do that. We did our best, right, within the means we had, because we are all a part of creation together. We are all co-creating together. We do what we can, right? But that was the grid that was laid out. Said suffering is going to make you more, and fixing yourself is what you need to do to find yourself. It's not true. So that is the core of our new earth, is learning how to step back into the original plan of the earth and become all we can be and share our true selves, which that's bigger than we know. There's so much more to that than we can possibly truly understand at the moment, maybe not be able to explain to other people. And I honor you if you're on the journey of exploring your true self and are really willing to lay everything on the line to know your true self, because that is something that's going to change the world. It's as easy as that, my friends. Obviously, we want to be mindful and aware and supportive of other people and actually care about everything that's happening on the earth. I don't think sticking your head in the sand is going to get you anywhere. And we don't want to be cruel by casting light on people, because casting light creates shadow, right? We don't want to step into that awareness. Actually, light is all there is. The real truth is that light is all there is, and the illusion is that we have darkness. Now, there might be shadow play. That's a whole other thing I'll talk about sometime. But it's not the same thing as true darkness, as what, oh goodness, there's this lovely young woman, I can't remember her name. Anyway, she talks about this as the unlight coming into the fore, and we are getting so high vibrationally aligned on Earth, whether or not we can all see it or feel it, that the unlight is starting to fade away. And of course, we are seeing, a lot of that darkness rearing its head, because it is really not interested in being let go of. That's the way the illusory part of the world works. It doesn't want to die. Well, we don't have to worry about it dying as much as we have to worry about lighting up. It's time for us to light up. It's our time. Yeah. So that's my message today from my higher self, Esme, as she continues on this journey of awakening herself and bringing that information in, because I am also on a journey, is what she wants to say, as we all are at every level of our being, and we're becoming more and more every day and creating a new earth together. So I welcome you into the next domain. I will meet you there, and we will continue on with the work and bring new ideas in that are about joy and play and creation. Thank you for listening. And if you do know that you're on a journey and you're trying to figure things out, because I was there too, and I needed as much help as I could get to understand what was happening with me and to see the new light that was wanting to come in to my life and through me. And it did have darkness in it, unfortunately. That was just the way it happened. And some of you might be experiencing that. Or you might just be having a great time and just want to know what's going on. I would love to talk to you. Just reach out to me. My contact information is in the description, so I would love to chat with you. And if it aligns, I would love to support you on your journey. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being yourself. Thanks for being here on the planet. Many blessings to you.